What's going on, everybody? I had something cheesy I was going to do, but I'm deciding to not do it because cheese can only go so far. Dane has titled the Wednesday shift that Brennan and I have. We've titled it the Wednesday Night Groove. So we'll see if that sticks. If you like that, say it in the comments. If you've got another idea, throw it into the comments. Gemma, how's it going? It's interesting with this Wednesday shift because again, Dane can obviously play guitar. Brendan can obviously play bass. To be mindful to my housemates, that being my lovely wife and the cat and the turtle here. I try not to be too loud after 9 p.m. So unfortunately, I can't play drums for everybody right now. So let me know how the audio is too. We got a bit of a different setup now. We're all trying to improve our live streaming setup because there's things that we want to do together, and there's things that because we're still doing the distancing thing. So there's some things we're trying to do with some of our oh, there's Brendan. Things we're trying to do with some of our setups to improve the audio and visual quality. We got ideas. We've got ideas. How's everybody doing? Gemma's doing good. Good to hear. Carol's here. How's it going? How is the audio? I still have to keep asking. How's the audio? Is it better? Is it worse? Audio's okay. All right, that's good. I do game streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. And there's a few things that I want to take from this and move it over to the gaming rig for some of the audio stuff. So anyone that's into the tech side of things, all ears on that. Getting to tense machine related matters. Today, finally got the rest of the pre-sale packages in the mail. And now you're thinking, that's a while. Your record came out May 1st. So how are the pre-sale packages still getting in the mail now? The issue, well, obviously, when COVID showed up, a lot of the plans that we had in basically starting in January kind of went out the window, and they went out the window real quick. Everything was okay up until like February. I know it's just January and February, but up until February, and then all of a sudden things started to get bad in March, and then April hit, and I think we launched the pre-sale in the middle of March, and had a meeting with the guys, and I was just looking at the logistics of everything, and with some of the businesses shutting down and the border closing, and just because originally we were going to get a lot of our stuff printed in the States, we could go do a rundown there. And then we could, because like real talk, like 90% of our orders are all going to the US. So the idea that a lot of what we were shipping, we can ship it a lot more affordably in the US. So when that kind of, not to say it went up in flames, but like that plan just didn't really work. So we had to find some other manufacturers and ways of getting things out to people. And there's a couple pieces that we wanted that we had to kind of find a supplier in Toronto or just in Canada in general. And it just, a lot of things got really sideways real quick. And I remember if you saw the picture, there's like there's 8 packages that went out that had the packages, I think 3 through 5 that had the lyrics and the painting and just some other odds and ends, the VIP lanyard that came with it. There was a bunch of things that we were looking at, and with the way that manufacturing was and distribution wise, I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna get this stuff. And we kind of went back and forth on like, do we just keep all the pre-sale packages up and just sell them, or do we kind of hit pause on that with what's come in? Because a lot of the orders came in really quickly with some of the higher packages. And I've watched, like, as on, again, putting the producer hat on, I've watched so many bands, I don't want to say botch their pre-sale orders, but just like not get the logistics right of it. And so when when I got back into bands, I'm like, I vow to not do that. I vow to not be in one of those bands that takes like a year to get their pre-sale packages out. So when it started looking like it was going to be a big issue, I was like, I really want to put the brakes on some of those packages because I don't want to spend a year waiting for some of the items to show up, or just trying to get stuff together. Also, things were just getting worse, and then also part of me is like seeing what was going on with a lot of work and people's situation and stuff. Like it was kind of, it would not say it was easier here in Canada, but like we had a program that showed up in beginning of April that pretty much said if you've got internet connection and a bank account, you can get $2,000 a month to kind of help you through your bills and stuff. And not assuming everyone's in a good position where, you know, that $50 or that $100, like then they might actually want that. So part of me was thinking like if anyone wanted, no one wanted any refunds or anything, but if anyone wanted a refund, no questions asked, then that works for us. But also just like, I understand a lot of people want to support bands and want to, you know, vote with their dollars sort of thing. But like now that was like not the best time to launch a pre-sale. So it's one thing to order a signed CD, it's one thing to share support that way. But with some of the things in the package, I'm like, I just don't feel good about having this stuff up right now, and also not knowing when we can fulfill the orders. So long story short, going back to March when we just kind of paused a lot of the pre-sale packages. I still think it was the right move that we made there, all things considered, and we did move a lot of pre-orders. And I remember when the guys were signing everything, it's like Dead Set's pre-order was really good, but like because of the groundwork kind of laid the last couple of years, like the 10th Machine pre-sale was better, it was more. But it also made it more challenging because we weren't able to just be in the U.S. and be able to just quickly go into USPS and just hand them a big bin of CDs and everything and go, here, you guys deal with this. So anyways, thanks again to everybody that took part in the pre-sale. I talked to the guys briefly about some of the things in the pre-order package, because we'll see what we can do. There's still some people who are asking about things, so we'll see what we can do in the future. But just again, really, really happy with how that worked out, and you know, dare I say too, not to put any expectations, but like I'm cautiously optimistically looking forward to the next one, as much as there's a lot of stress. So I'm just gonna go through the comments here for a second. Sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore anybody. Jim is saying audio's okay. That's good. Bristol, how's it going? Bristol, I've got something for you, Bristol. You asked for something a while ago, and check your mailbox. Cindy, how's it going? Cindy's saying audio's good. Okay, I got 2 audio is good, so we'll go with that. Mike Diesel's here. How's it going, Diesel? Diesel did the artwork for the Echoes album. He managed to take our jumbled mess vision and turn it into something. You could say he gave us a hand with it. That's okay. I'm allowed like 3 of those per session. That was part of the negotiation. I'm allowed like 3 dad jokes. Kelly's saying hi, saying apparently YouTube doesn't like, what's YouTube doing? Is this just not working? Brenda's saying, Mike, it's pre-sale hero. I appreciate Brendan. Dare I say it is, I don't want to say it's a thankless job because the guys do say thank you. But it's one of those things where like you get into the depths of pre-sale package assembling, and definitely helps having a little bit of assistance putting everything together. Shout out to my lovely wife for helping me with that. But it's just like, it's the amount sometimes. I remember back with Dead Set, because we did do the pre-sale signing on the road, and we figured it out so we could, like, the day before we were starting our tour, we could pick up all our CDs and stuff, go to the hotel and sign stuff. And I didn't really know what I was doing, so I asked them if we could use their like meeting boardroom at the hotel, and I just like opened up every CD that we needed to sign and just like started putting on the table. I remember calling the guys from the hotel room, like, all right, just pick an end and start signing because there's like 60 to do. So there was quite a bit with that, but when you got to actually assemble stuff, put it together, and make sure you've got it. It sounds easy because it's like, item, package, address on something, but it hits a point where there's just so many that, not to say you start making mistakes, like sometimes you forget to sign one that you should have signed. Sorry, Julie. But it's a lot. You have to like break it down into chunks, sort of thing. So yeah, it's and then also when you're me, sometimes you start looking at things and you're like, I should get a picture of that, or like, I should scan this. And then you start undoing a few things so that because like, I like to document stuff, believe it or not, if you've ever read my blogs or anything, but which I haven't done in a while, but I like to document stuff. So like before things go, I like to take pictures of things so that we have it. Even with the pre-sale, like the thank you Polaroids, which is a big hit, by the way, for any bands watching. People seem to like that quite a bit. The Polaroids, it's like before started putting those into packages, I scanned each and every one of them. I scanned well over 100 of them. So I'm like, we're not going to have these again. It'd be kind of cool to have these in case we want to use these for any graphics or anything like that. So things like that can kind of slow down your process a little bit. So sorry, just that the camera was bothering me there. I just wanted to move it down a little bit. So yeah, again, thanks to everybody that took part of the pre-sale. I would say it's a success. I would say it's a success also because the pre-sale helped cover some costs. That's another thing. I feel bad with some bands because they'll get 500 CDs pressed and they'll sell 13 copies, and give 4 away, and they're just like, this is expensive. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty expensive if you're not sure you can sell the stuff. So Bristol's saying Polaroids are dope. No, they're fun. They're very, very fun. And we got ideas for that too. There's so many things that we started kind of spitballing ideas that we wanted to do when we're touring, and just things that we wanted to do to create some pieces for people. And it's just like everyone's in the same boat, but it's like so many of those plans, you just had to modify them. I don't want to say you had to give up on the plans, but you had to modify what you were doing. So just reading through the comments. Kelly's saying the chat wasn't working for me today. Last time it kept splitting the audio from the video and it was not lined up. Interesting. I will check into that. We're using StreamYard as the platform. That's how we can get other video feeds into the stream here. So yeah, there's a couple things we're still trying to work the kinks out of, but it's like, I was telling the guys too, it's like you don't really know what's working and what's not working until you start using it. Because it's easy to just, hop on and test the feed and then go, yeah, like this is all working and sounding fine. And then you use it in real time. Last Wednesday, Brendan and I because Brendan was streaming last Wednesday and we're trying to get some audio stuff working. And we spent like an hour trying to troubleshoot something. When he went live, it went away. So like all that lead up time trying to make it work, it was just like, what is the problem here? Nothing makes sense. And then he went live. So again, there's the things that you learn about some of these platforms. Liz says, thank you for your hard work. It's my pleasure. It's a labor of love. I think that's kind of the thing these days with a lot of bands and artists, not to go Hey Langford, do your band's TED Talk on everything. But if there's one thing I can say somewhat confidently and assuredly, it's like the last 4 months, if you didn't want to do this, if you didn't want to be in a band, if you don't want to create content, if you didn't want to, connect with fans, if you didn't want to, keep pushing forward, if you weren't knocked out in the last 3 or 4 months, you've got your heart's in the right place, because this is not an easy time right now, especially, if like the three of us, like we're in music full time one way or another. And when the industry's, the rug of the industry is kind of pulled out from underneath you, you find out, have you got enough income streams to last you through it? Do you have a strong enough support network? Do you have enough flexibility and agility to kind of get find your way through these troubling times? But Yeah, anyone that got through this or is getting through this, because we're not through it yet by any means, but again, just appreciate everyone that's been helping a lot of bands that have been doing their best to try to navigate these strange waters, to say the least. All right, everyone's still saying the audio is good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so I just wanted to chat about the pre-sale stuff. Again, that stuff went out today. There's a few more things that we would like to do. And again, the distancing thing's a bit making things a little bit tricky right now. The live stream I did with Dane a couple weeks ago, like that, we think that was a success, and there's things that we want to build off of that. So stay tuned for that in the near future. Should be fun. Just having a look through the comments here. Kelly's saying only found out about this a few weeks ago. Kelly, you mean the band or the pre-sale or the record or? Yeah, it's like back with the pre-sale thing. Like it's unfortunate we weren't able to leave all the packages up, because I'm curious to see how they would have sold, because like in the first week things were selling really well. But yeah, it was again logistics of things. I didn't want to be like, hey Dane, we need 300 paintings, and I don't know when you're gonna be able to go to the store to get materials. And some people just, they always assume that like, they always assume that you can just see it, see into the future and just act now and stuff like that. Real talk, a lot of bands kind of leave stuff in a way, and you should at least be able to see that coming sort of thing. So I've worked with enough bands, I know how it can go sometimes. We try our best, but with just some of the logistics that were going on at the time, especially how March everything just nosedived as far as what was going on in Canada, and things were starting to close up in the US too. So we'll see what the future holds. Cindy's saying, I believe you guys are close to 500 subscribers. I think we're close to 500 subscribers on YouTube. There's some more YouTube content we've been talking about as well. We'd like to move over there and start working on. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. It could be in your best interest. There's two things you should do for bands these days. Follow them on Spotify, because there's a lot of bands and artists that just ninja launch things. They just they do something and then it's out, and then either you find out when it's going or you have to wait for them to post about it. So yeah, definitely follow people on Spotify. Also subscribe on YouTube, because there's a lot of stuff that video content that's just going to pop up, and it's good to get a heads up about that. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Maybe Brendan can throw a link into the chat. I wonder if I can just type it by memory. I'm going to try. Hopefully it goes somewhere. I'm curious. I think it does. I'm so used to how the handles look now on a lot of the social platforms that I can usually just type, especially YouTube, where it's got that weird C in the middle there. Naomi's got to go. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. Hanging for a bit. Anyone got any questions? Again, I'm not the instrumentalist person in the band, so well, I know I play instruments, but it's not the same as Dane and Brendan. Cindy's saying Brendan is ahead of you. Did Brendan already post it? You guys should be like lagging behind me, because like the stream is like 5 seconds or something behind what's actually going on. Anyone have any questions? Test machine questions? Stories they want to tell? Kelly said, I'm a little behind in the music department. I've been very involved with Sisters Band based in New York City, and then COVID hit and hasn't been able to do any of that. It's tough. It's tough because like, even band stuff aside, it's like somebody probably, and I half joking about it, it's like somebody probably woke up, at the beginning of March, and like, I'm gonna turn my life around. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go back to school. I'm gonna find the love of my life. I'm gonna get the job I always wanted. I'm gonna, go to the gym. It's like all these things, and then everything just shut down, and it's just like now you're playing. Now like the easy plan's gone. So I was chatting with a buddy who, he made a decision to start going back to the gym. I think it was in February, and like we're chatting about it a few days ago, and it's just like, you either gotta make space at home to try to figure that stuff out, or you just, go for a walk around the block or something. But yeah, when you're just like, I'm gonna go to the gym and get the pass, and I'm gonna go, and it's just like everything's shut down. So it's tough for everybody. Larry, how's it going? We got to see Larry on the tour. Larry, always appreciated your visits at the merch table. Real talk. Always fun. Cindy's saying dream collaboration. What do you mean dream collaboration? With the band, or just personally, or dream collaboration as a single or group artist? I'm not sure. Like, as far as like as a producer, as far as bands I would like to write with, there's a lot of bands I don't want to ruin, because like I like what they're doing, so I don't want to get involved. But again, guilty pleasure, Hives. I love the Hives. They're one of my favorite punk rock bands, and I would love to sit and write with those, with that camp, because I love the way they approach things, and I think that would be pretty fun. Though, like, not to say a cheap pick, but like I would love to write with Dave Grohl. He half jokingly says like he doesn't want to work on anything that's not a hit, and that guy's got a way of making pretty much anything sound like a hit. So I'd be curious to see what would happen. I think there's a problem with the stream. So I saw a drop in the viewers. See if it comes back. See if we're back here. See if we're back here. See if we're back here. We're back. We're going. Is it running? This is one of the things with live streams. Sometimes you have hiccups. I'm going to restart this because I don't think it's going to Facebook right now. Just give me a second.